All right, everyone else in the waiting room has a name associated with them. I've got one that says Brown K14. Any
I
idea
think
who
that's
that
the
might be
worker. I think that's the worker on this case, Your Honor.
on this case?
Yes, from, I think, Wayne
Oh,
County.
okay. All right. Good morning. Could you identify yourself, please?
Me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kenya Brown, Child Protective Services, Wayne County.
Okay, and you are here this morning on the Kingsley Clute matter?
Yes.
All right, I had an informal conversation with the attorneys in chambers before we came on the record. I do see there's an indication that a father was identified at some point by the mother during the proceedings in Wayne County. What information do you have about the father?
Nothing. All she told us is that he's an illegal immigrant. His name can't be on any legal documents. He lives somewhere in Jackson, but she didn't have his address.
And the order indicated that his name, or I'm sorry, there was a handwritten change made to the petition that said his name was Raul Jackson. Is Jackson simply a reference to the fact that Raul lives in Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, we figured that out. All right, I guess we're just going to have to publish. Mom's not present for the hearing. Did you happen to have a phone number for her?
I do. Hold on a second and I'll give it to you. I have to go in another screen. So hold on.
Hello,
Hello, is this Amanda Clute?
this is.
Good morning, Ms. Clute. This is Judge LaFlamme. We are on the record in the matter of your son Kingsley Clute.
No, not a boy. It's a girl.
Oh, Kingsley's a girl. My apologies.
It's okay.
We had some information about the potential father of this child. Can you identify who you believe is the father?
Raul,
Raul. Do you know Raul's last name?
Gomez.
Do you know Mr. Gomez's address?
I'd have to drive past his place and look at the numbers on the house, but it's on Stewart. And I don't think, I know he's the father.
You're certain he is the father?
100%.
Okay, does he know about Kingsley?
Yes.
Has he expressed any interest in obtaining custody of Kingsley?
No, and I don't know if he actually could because he's an illegal immigrant.
All right, well, he has rights. We need to be able to notify him. Would it be possible for you to drive by the house, get the address, and then provide that address to the worker so that we can provide him with notice and give him an opportunity to participate in the proceeding?
Yeah, when I get back up to Michigan, right now I'm down in Indiana. I wanted to speak to you before, without CPS present.
I can only speak to you on the record, ma'am.
Oh, that's fine by me. I don't care if the message gets passed along to them. I just don't want them butting in, interrupting me. I don't want a lawyer. I'm fed up with Jackson County attorneys telling me to sit there and be quiet and not defend myself. And anytime I ask for any kind of character witnesses to be brought up for myself, they say no. That's the reason why I fired the first attorney, and the second attorney did the same thing. Mr. Kelly did it to me.
So,
And I don't quite care for it.
so you don't want Mr. Kelly to represent you?
No. No, I do not.
All right. Would you,
I don't believe in incompetent attorneys. I just got done dealing with an attorney through Wayne County who was the complete opposite of both attorneys down here. And it astonished and amazed me that he said, you know what? I will take a note from your doctor. I will take a note from caseworkers. Anybody who's willing to stand up and say, hey, you know what? I think she can do it. Give her a try. Give her a chance.
all right. Would you like me to appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter?
How would I go about if I believe they're misrepresenting me or they're half-ass representing me like what Mr. Kelly and Miss Dugan did?
Whenever you are dissatisfied with your attorney, you can certainly bring that information to the attention of the court. That doesn't mean that I necessarily will appoint a new attorney for you, but I will certainly listen to your objection. We have an attorney available this morning. Excuse me, Ms. Rebecca McCluskey, who I can appoint to represent you. And you want,
Is CPS going to be allowed to say, hey, we're just going to terminate?
CPS has the absolute right to request in their petition that we move forward to terminate parental rights. But the decision is up to me. It's not up to them. It's their decision whether or not to ask for termination. It's my decision whether or not there will be a termination.
I don't, my doctor would prefer me to relinquish my rights, especially with it coming back down to Jackson, because he knows my history with CPS. He's looked into the matter and he knows the reason why I feel so strongly against CPS.
Ma'am, at any point in the proceeding, you can request that I accept your release of parental rights. You don't have to ask for that today. You can ask for that at a future hearing. I'm not sure exactly. We need to try to get notice to Mr. Gomez so that his rights are protected, so that he has the ability to participate should he choose.
He's not going to understand anything that's going on inside anything.
Are you talking about a language barrier, or you're talking he simply doesn't understand the legalities involved?
I don't think he's going to understand the legalities involved, and there's an extent of really, really tall barrier of language there.
Well, if
I had to learn to speak Spanish to be able to communicate with him.
we have Spanish language interpreters that will participate in the proceeding to make sure that he understands what's going on. And I can,
Now, if he gets custody of her, is he going to be allowed to take her down to Mexico?
well, that's a complicated question, ma'am. It all depends on the status of your parental rights, which haven't been determined yet. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Your Honor, there's two people that would like to come into the courtroom. They just sent me a message.
Okay, who's that?
They're the foster parents.
What are their names?
Miss Perry and Miss Stetson.
Oh, so she's living with a couple of lesbians. All right, I'm gonna let you go because I don't want to hear anything from the foster parents. I don't like foster parents. I don't trust the state, and I don't trust justice.
All right, I allowed Ms. Perry. It looks like there's someone else with her. I don't see anyone else signed in. Oh, okay, so they're both present.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Okay, so I've appointed Ms. McCluskey to represent Ms. Clute. We currently are scheduled for a trial and disposition on October 6th at 1 p.m. We'll keep that date on the calendar. However, if we have difficulty serving Mr. Gomez either personally or by publication, it's conceivable that that trial date might get adjourned. But in the meantime, we are going to shoot for that trial date. Is there anything else the court needs to address this morning?
Yes, Judge, I just received an email regarding medical authorization for Kingsley. It appears that Kingsley, I'm looking at a letter from a doctor. Kingsley never received a birth dose of hepatitis B, and it puts her at some severe risk for getting that disease. There may be, she also needs some additional testing because of the lack of prenatal care. And Ms. Clute has been difficult to track down. The court's well aware of the history, and I think probably the direction this is headed. So I would request that the agency be allowed to sign authorizations for Kingsley. I can prepare a separate order if the court wants.
Yeah, I'll sign that order. Ms. Clute, certainly it would be first incumbent upon you. Are you still there? Oh, she must have hung up. She said she was going to leave, so apparently that's what's happened. I will sign that order.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, anything else that we need to deal with this morning? Okay, very well. We'll see you back here on the 6th. In the meantime, we will make efforts to get Mr. Gomez served. She says he lives on Stewart Street. Is it Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Would you mind calling her back and see if you can get any more information about the address on Stewart Street?
I will call her, Your Honor, but she doesn't talk to me at all, period. But I will call her.
She indicated she would not know unless she drove by Stewart Street, and she's in Indiana right now.
I did hear that, but I hope maybe someone could probe. Ms. McCluskey, let me give you her phone number.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's we'll move forward as if we're going to publish, but if we can get a specific address, we'll try to serve him as well. In the meantime, we'll just keep October 6th on as our trial and disposition date. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.